Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and if you're new here, hi, I'm Ainsley, and I guess I should also welcome myself back to my channel because I have not uploaded anything here for the longest time. I think it was a year or a little over a year since I last uploaded in this channel. So hopefully that changes. Actually, I have already filmed a lot of videos that I did not upload because I am a perfectionist somewhat and I am my worst critic. So yeah, that's why. And also life happened and hopefully that changes because I really want to share my love of reading um, here in this platform, and hopefully you enjoy this video. If you can see my background, I'm in my crafting room, so if you see the background there, it's very messy. I just ignore that. Anyway, today I'm going to share with you some of the books that I got. It's kind of like a mini haul, or a book haul of the books that I got from the Manila Book Fair, which was held last September. And of course, the books I got for my birthday, which was a couple of days ago. So let's start with the books that I got from the book fair. I only got four books. First, because last uh, last year, last 2024, I also attended the Manila Book Fair, and I got 10 books from that. And I've only read out of those 10 books that I've got, I've only read about two books, which is bad. And I felt so guilty. And there were also a lot of people. I felt guilty, so I just got a few. I held myself back. I only got four books. Um, the first book I got, which I was really excited about, was this book by R.F. Kwang. It's Catabasis. And I think this is a dark academia type of book, um, wherein a couple of students, what students? Oh, two graduate students. Okay, so Dante's Inferno meets Susanna Clark's Piranesi in this all new dark academia fantasy from R.F. Kwang, the number one New York Times best-selling author of Babel. Did I pronounce that right? Babel. And Yellowface, in which two graduate students must put aside their rivalry and journey to hell to save their professor's soul, perhaps at the cost of their own. Ooh. And I heard, because I love watching booktubers in my spare time or when I'm doing house chores. And I've heard a lot about this book, and I've also heard that this was um, very well researched, I guess. So I don't doubt it because that's R.F. Kwong. I've only ever read her. I've only ever read her book Yellow Face, but I have the Babel book, which I intend to read as well. Hopefully soon. So I got that. Look at the sprayed edges. So beautiful. So detailed and so beautiful. Right. So that's one down. And then I got this book, Discontent. Title is Discontent, and this is by Beatriz Serrano and translated by Mara Faye Lethem. I'm going in this book blind, as I am with all the other books, with most of the books that I've got. So on the surface, Marissa's life looks enviable. She lives in a beautiful apartment in the center of Madrid. She has a hot neighbor who is always around to sleep with her, and she's risen through the ranks at a successful advertising agency. And yet, she's drowning in a dark hole of existential dread induced by the banality of corporate life. Marissa hates her job and everyone at it. She spends her working hours locked in her office, hiding from her coworkers, binging YouTube videos, and getting high on tranquilizers. Okay. What? 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 Anyway, when she has the time, she goes on absurdly long lunch breaks or escapes to her favorite museum where she contemplates the meaning of life while staring at Hieronymus Bosch paintings. I'm sorry if I butchered that. I don't know how to pronounce it. But Marisa's dubious success, which is largely built on lies and work she's stolen from other people, is in danger of being revealed when she's forced to go on her company's team building retreat. Isolated in the Segovia forest, surrounded by psychopathic bosses, overzealous co workers, flirty retreat staff, and an excess of, I don't think I can say this here, but it rhymes with bugs. Marisa finds her carefully crafted office persona beginning to crack. Okay, so I'm excited to read this too. I mean, I'm excited to read all my books. Obviously, I wouldn't buy them if I didn't want to read them, right? Okay, so Manila Book Fair is, I think it's usually held in this big convention place, center place. And there are a lot of publishing houses and bookstores that join, kind of like a bazaar. They have their own booth, own space, and for this year's Manila Book Fair, I just went to fully booked, and that's where I got these books. And I have been looking for this author, this author's work, this author's books for the longest time in this particular bookstore, but I can never seem to find them. Maybe because I don't ask. I should start asking now that I'm thinking about it. So these are the books by Rachel Cusk. And I think there was a third book that I didn't get because I thought I already got too much. So I think I left that behind. I'm not sure. Anyway, so I got Saving Agnes. And in here, Agnes Day, sub-editor, suburbanite, failure extraordinaire, has discovered disconcerting gaps in her general understanding of the world. Terminally middle class and incurably romantic, Agnes finds herself chronically confused by the most basic interactions. Life and love go on without her, but with a little facade, she can pass herself off as a success. Beneath the fiction, however, the burden of truth becomes harder to bear. What is this? Is that like kind of like this book? I wonder if it has similarities. That would be interesting. Maybe I'll update you on that if I manage to read both books soon, hopefully. And then I got The Temporary. So in here, in this book, Ralph Loman is working in an unsatisfying job at a free London newspaper when Francine Snaith, a temporary secretary for a corporate finance firm, unexpectedly crosses his path at a party. Her beauty ignites a blaze of excitement in his troubled heart. But Francine is ravenous for attention, driven by a thirst for conquest, and when Ralph tries politely to extricate himself, he finds he is bound by chains of consequence from which it seems there is no escape. In The Temporary, the acclaimed author of the Outline trilogy, Rachel Cusk, paints a merciless portrait of the cut and thrust of modern romance, work, and life. So those are all the things that I got from the Manila Book Fair. There are only 4 books because I try to hold myself back because I have a very um, huge pile of TBR that I really hope I'm able to lessen this year. Oh my gosh, it's so heavy. I will now show you the books that I got for my birthday. And again, I also held back because one, I was on a budget. Second, I have too much books. I have so many books. So, okay, first up, we have one of my favorite childhood fiction books is this Charlotte's Web. It's a special edition Charlotte's Web copy by E.B. White. And as you can see, look at the border. It's all golden border. And it also has a sprayed edge. Isn't that cute? So it says some pig, terrific, radiant. I don't know if you can see it. I'm a little bit far from my camera, so I can't really see. So yeah, that's what it says. And then I also got this book. I have been putting off buying this book for quite some time now, and I really don't know why. Okay, fun fact about me is I enjoy watching Korean novellas, Korean dramas, Korean variety shows, And while I was browsing for something to watch on this platform that I used to, watch my Korean shows, I came across this title, and I was like, is this the book that I saw from this bookstore that I frequent? And then I looked it up on Goodreads on the internet, and it was actually the same. It's a show based on the book, and it is To the Moon by Jang Ryujin. I said I love watching Korean shows, but I'm still having a hard time trying to pronounce Korean names, so I'm so sorry if I'm butchering that. And it's also translated by Sean Lynn Halbert. I'm going into this book blind as well, so let me just pull that up on Goodreads. So it's a bittersweet tale of wealth and class, female friendship, and the promise of the future when good fortune seems to be just around the corner. So in Seoul, three young women meet while working mundane desk jobs at a confectionery manufacturer. They become fast friends, taking their conversations out of the group chat as they bond over their average employee report cards. The incompetence of their male team leader and a mutual longing for financial freedom amid mediocre races. In Sang, the eldest of the group is always looking for ways to earn extra money but faces trouble at work after she opens a mini mart at her desk. That's fun. That's something I think I would also do if I were, working in a corpo job. Ji Song, the youngest, dreams of a perfect romance with her Taiwanese boyfriend and spends her low salary on trips to Taipei. Meanwhile, Dahe searches endlessly for a better apartment, albeit one she can actually afford. One day over lunch, In Sang announces a plan to make enough money to quit her job by investing her life savings in cryptocurrency. What's more, she thinks the others should join her. All they need to do, she says, is hold on tight and wait for the price to skyrocket to the moon. Okay, but as the market begins to fluctuate and spiral out of their control, fate of their friendship and their futures soon hangs in the balance. Wow, okay. That sounds a little bit chaotic. I'm not, but it sounds interesting too. I like that. I'm gonna read that before I watch the show. And then next up, we also have another. I have two books here that I have been putting off buying, and one of them is Andy Weir's. Did I say that? Did I pronounce that right? Project Hail Mary. So I've read. If you're here, you probably like watching YouTube booktube videos, and I'm pretty sure you've heard about this book. So I'm not gonna read whatever is in the back. But all I can say is that I've heard a lot of good things about this book, which got me curious and finally got it. Good thing I asked because I couldn't find it in the bookstore in Fully Book, my favorite bookstore. Probably the only bookstore I know that's kind of like that's big-ish. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so I asked about this and they gave me this. They said this is the last copy and I'm glad I got my hands on it. Next up, another book that I've been putting off getting. Well, actually, no, I have not been putting off um, getting this book. Excuse me, getting this book. I've been looking for this book, but again, I don't ask the staff of the bookstore for books that I'm looking for. That's why I never find them. But this one was on display, and it's the special edition of I. This is a special edition, right? I Who Have Never Known Man by Jacqueline Hartman. Yeah. And it's this. It's a hardbound book. So again, if you like watching booktubes, I'm pretty sure you've heard about this one. It's about 40 women who lives underground. I think they were taken underground and that they lived there for as long as they've known, for as long as they I don't know. Um, but none of them knows why they are there. Uh, they have very little recollection of what their life was. I don't know. I'm going in this blind, but so far I think that's all I've heard about this book. It's very interesting, and I think we get to read about the POV of one of the 40 women or girls there. And yeah, I'm excited to read that. Next up, last one that I got for this book haul is this book, The Will of the Many by James Eilington. And okay, um, back then I didn't really, I I didn't watch YouTube a lot back then after having kids. Okay. And now recently, I think that's like my comfort thing, watching booktubes, book YouTubers, watching book shopping videos, book recommendations, TBR for the month, videos. And one of my favorite, actually, she's my only favorite YouTuber because I haven't watched a lot yet to, know. But this one girl, I love her. She's so funny, and her videos are very entertaining. And she's like my happy pill. I always watch her videos, and her name is Kalila D. She doesn't know me, but yeah, I love her. I love her videos, and I heard about this book from her. So I bought it, and that is it for my book haul. Now let's move on to my Goodreads reading challenge. So whenever I would remember, I would join the Goodreads reading challenge. I pulled up my Goodreads here. So last year, I was able to achieve my goal of 20 books for the year one for the year 2024. And I even exceeded 2 books. Like 20, I read 22 books last year out of 20 books, and I felt very ambitious. So I upped that by about 10 books. So this year, 2025, my goal is to read 30 books, and I have only read about 12 books. So I need to read. I'm so bad at math. Please wait. I need to read 18 more books. Yeah, I need to read 18 more books in October, November, December. 3 months, less than 3 months actually, as it is already mid October. So, with that being said, by the way, guys, I do this reading challenge. I do this reading challenges to, challenge myself to read more books, to broaden my horizon. What? I do this reading challenges to just have fun and challenge myself to read more books. I do not at all feel pressure in reading a lot of books, um, but it gets me excited to see how much I can read in a year, in a month. So that's why I do this reading challenges, and it's a very good feeling when you accomplish things, right? Even if it's just your house chores, it's a very good feeling when you can just cross out um, your to-do list or your goals. And that's why I do these things. It's to have fun, challenge myself, and I don't feel pressured about it. And I hope that if you're doing these kinds of challenges, I hope it's the same for you. I hope you're just in there to have fun. If you don't get to reach your goals, that's fine. But it's always a good idea to challenge yourself. Anyway, so okay, that being said, for the month of October, I wanted to read 20 books because I wanted to see if I can do it. But then I realized it's mid October and I don't think I can do it. So we're sticking to just 5 more books to read this month of October. 5 books in 15 days. I don't know if I'm going to turn that into a video. I don't know. But so far this month, I only read 1 book. I have read 1 book already. I'm going through one other book in my Kindle. The title is Finlay Donovan is Killing It. And so far, it's very entertaining and funny. And also, and for the 5 other books that I want to read for this month of October, I already have my heart set on 3 books that I want to read. And then the 2 other books, um, uh, I spun a wheel, a TBR wheel prompt. Actually, this is the second take of this video that I'm doing. I already spun it. And the first book that showed up was the shortest book in my TBR. And the second one, is the oldest book in my TBR. So those are the two books that came up on the TBR wheel prompt. And then and the books that I want to read that I have my heart set on reading for this month is first The Night Circus. And this is by Erin Morgenstern. And it's very fitting for the month of October. And then this one, Cersei Kirky. I don't know how you pronounce this, but I pronounce it Cersei. Cersei. Anyway, but the reason I what and this is by Madeline Miller. And the reason why I wanted to read this one is because I might be attending a costume party at the end of October for Halloween. And the theme is Olympian Odyssey, Olympian gods, goddesses, I don't know. But I'm so interested in her. And I think she's a goddess. She's a goddess or almost a goddess, I don't know. And she turns men into animals, specifically pigs. So yeah, I like that. I like that. So that's why I'm gonna read this book, so that I get to know more about her, and so that I can, bring her to life in the costume that I'm gonna wear. I don't know, but yeah, the last one in our TBR for the month of October is this book, Lucy Undying. I think I also. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I think that I also saw this book mentioned in one of Kalila's uh, YouTube videos. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm very interested in reading this. This is about um, Dracula's first victim. One of Dracula's first victims, Lucy Westenra. So she's a vampire, and we're gonna read about her in this book, and I'm so excited. I love that. Anyway, so that is all for this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope I finally let go of the perfectionism that's stopping me from uploading videos and upload this finally. And yeah, I hope to do this again. I hope to do this regularly, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.